Okay, guys, I'm really excited tonight for all of you that have the opportunity to meet Kamala Robinson. Before we get into the interview, I just want to say that we'll be talking about an opportunity that has more upside potential than any business I've ever seen in my entire entrepreneurial career. I know many of you attending this live event tonight would say the same thing. In fact, I've not met one person that is part of the beta test for this program that hasn't said, Dale, where's this been all my life? I've never seen anything like this, and so on and so forth. We are in a new era of income generation and opportunity for wealth creation that didn't even exist. It wasn't even possible a couple of years ago. But because of smart contracts on the blockchain, decentralized finance, crypto, we're in a whole different category that most people don't even know is here yet. Kamala, along with many of our team members, are in the marketplace proving this new era does exist every day. And as a disclaimer, there's no income implied or guaranteed. All income in any business is based upon market conditions, a person's ability to become self-educated and follow proven training systems, the time they devote, and their work ethic. This is the way it always has been. It's the way it always will be. However, some opportunities simply offer more upside income potential than others because they're more accepted in the marketplace. And that's something most people miss, the acceptance in the marketplace. For many of us, this is the best opportunity I've seen in my lifetime, and it doesn't even officially launch for another month. This is not financial advice. Do your own due diligence. We are all independent contractors sharing our own documented numbers and stories and opinions. And with that said, it's a pleasure to welcome Kamala Robinson. A lot of people will see Kamala where she is today. She's the number 4. She's the number 4 on the top 25 producers in the Ihub Meta program in the United States, number 4. And some of us remember her when she started. And I've witnessed the last 5 years of her entrepreneurial journey. And I just did some research today, and I just want to share this with you guys because people see people where they are. They don't understand the path. They think everybody lands there. That's not the way this works. I met Kamala about 4 or 5 years ago in Atlanta in an event. Honestly, the only thing I could remember is at the time she was with or had been with a company called It Works. And she told me that somebody had recommended that she get plugged into my network marketing training systems. That was the conversation we had. Somebody sent her to me, you need to get plugged in with Dale Calvert. She signed up for our newsletter at MLM Help in June of 2017. She became an MLM Training Club member 3 months later in September. And then in December of that year, many of you know, we open up our Programming Your Mind for Success program once a year. And in December that year, she became a member of that. She's a member of CMG Book Club and helped Shelly Giddings out with that. And since we've met, she's been part of everything we've done, been on every open training webinar we've ever conducted. She's been a dedicated, focused student. I can honestly say that Kamala Robinson, the one that many of you know and love today, is not remotely close to the same person I met 5 years ago. Her personal growth and transformation, I wasn't expecting to get choked up like this, guys. But her personal growth and transformation is proof of what can happen when you dedicate yourself to avoid the self-proclaimed guru fluff and foo-foo dust and make wisdom of the ages, success principle mindset part of who you are as a human being. Many of you have watched her break out during the beta stage of the Ihub Meta program. As of 7:47 this morning, She had enrolled 28 businesses in the program who have a total of 78 TV screens. So that's 78 players that have been or will be hooked up on business owners' TVs. That equates to $7,800 in monthly passive income for herself that she's created in a couple months. And I believe she will tell you she's just now getting started. To try to put this in perspective, she's accomplished in her first 2 months, based upon the current compensation plan and data from a CNBC article on the Bureau of Labor Statistics. I mean, if you give away 10 players, that can mean an additional $1,000 a month. Many of you with us live have done that your first 2 weeks. Give away 100 players, it's $10,000 in monthly passive income without any fees, no auto ship, and without selling anything. Kamila's done 78, and I know she's got a verbal deal with a bowling alley that will put her over 100. And she was hoping to get that ink before tonight. But regardless, what opportunity in the world can you start and in a couple of months create a $7,800 passive monthly income without enrolling one team member? It's not out there. There's nothing close to it. You give away 300 players, that creates $30,000 in monthly income. And I have no doubt that Kamila and other members on this team will probably do that before this year's over. Give away 700 boxes, that's $70,000 monthly. It puts you in the top 1% of incomes that are generated in the United States, top 1%. Kamila is on pace to do that her first 12 months. Give away 1,000 boxes is $1.2 million a year in annual passive income. You're a millionaire. And what if it took 2 or 3 years to do it? Where are you going to be in 2 or 3 years if you don't? And I've shared multiple times that my personal goal is to develop 500 six-figure earners on this team and 10 millionaires. And if I was a betting person, I would say Kamala Robinson will be one of those millionaires. So Kamala, turn on your video, your audio, and let's hear more about your story. Are you with us? Kamala, say hi.
Hi. Yes, sir.
How are you doing tonight?
All right. I'm doing good.
Good. So just start off, just tell people what they need to know about maybe you, your background, growing up in Michigan, your siblings, whatever you'd like to share.
Well, I grew up in the middle of Michigan. It's called Barrington, and I had looked it up when Dale asked me to do this. Our population is 415 in our town. And when I mentioned it to my dad, he said, well, he said in 1960 it was 400, so we're getting up there. So I'm the youngest of 4 children, as the favorite. And I have 3 children of my own, 10 grandkids. Past experience, I was a waitress since I was 9 years old. My parents built a restaurant in the early 2000s, and my mom ended up with cancer, so I took it over right during the recession, and it was a pretty rough deal. I think now if I would have had this and just had 3 TVs, it would have saved my business. 3. So with this business, I can only imagine, and that's what I tell people, you know, what is that TV sitting there not costing you or not paying you anything, you know, I'm there. So anyways, I pretty much felt like I failed at everything that I did. I went from a field entrepreneur as a business owner to the only thing I did succeed is I became a professional alcoholic for quite a while. And thank goodness I met Dale.
Well, let's back up. When did you get involved in that? When did you get involved in network marketing?
In 2011.
2011.
Yep. I was introduced to It Works And I had all the you can make a lot of money at this and do whatever you want. The girl that had signed me up was making $24,000 a year at that time, or a month at that time, and she said I could do it too. Well, I was right into where I was just mentioning to you, pretty rough time in my life, but she was going to teach me everything I need to know. And long story short about that, you grasp every direction. You go to the conferences and you try this and you try that, and everything that you always hear on Dale's podcast about the network marketing business. And I didn't know it at the time, but I was one of the 27 percenters. But I had been called a creepy blitzer because I went all in with this company. I went all in to the point of, like, people didn't like me anymore because that's all I talked about was, and I plastered it all over my Facebook, and everything that they told me to do, I did, but I never succeeded at it. And so there I had done the self-taught training with Shad Helmstetter, and I met a gentleman, and he introduced me to Dale. So that is when I started looking into Dale, and I had heard he was going to be speaking not too far from me. And so I went down and I met him for the first time, and he has completely changed my life. His systems, his programming, everything has completely changed me.
So that was the Georgia event?
Actually, it was in Chicago. You were speaking with,
Okay.
for another company,
Okay.
TLC or something like that, and I jumped in. Matter of fact, I borrowed my mom's car because I didn't even have one of my own.
Did we meet in Chicago?
Yes, we met the first time in Chicago. Then I went to Atlanta.
Okay, I remember Atlanta.
And I was still a basket case.
How would you describe the last 5 years of your life?
Oh, my personal life has been life altering. My kids and my grandkids now like to spend time with me. I like myself and I believe in myself, but there again, I want the listeners out there to realize that you have to get plugged in and stay in. And it doesn't matter if it's a Zoom call of your companies that's on the right track, or Dale's podcast. Like, I lived with Dale and Dale didn't even know it, in my car and in the bathroom and in the kitchen, and people would come over and are you listening to him again? My mom lived with me, for the past 7 years of her life, and she knew Dale just as much as I did. But you have to get plugged in and stay in. And Dale, if it wasn't for you, I have no idea where I would be today, if I would even be on this earth.
Well, it's you've taken the action, and just if I say programming your mind for success, what does that mean to you now compared to maybe what it did a few years ago or before, 5 or 10 years ago? I mean, I know that program has really impacted you, but what are your thoughts about programming your mind? It sounds like foo-foo dust, but is it
No.
legit?
It's as important as air is to you, if that makes any sense. Breathing, you have to program, and that programming your mind is coming up. I think what he does is he opens it. Don't you open it every December? It's a must. I've had it, I believe, 3 or 4 years, and I listen to it more often than not.
What's the number one reason, Kamila, that you feel like that? Because we've all watched you really break out during this beta stage of Ihub Meta and this whole program. why have you broken out? Because I talk about people breaking out, and you're a great example of that. But why do you think that's happened?
I believe it's the programming. I believe it's getting in and staying connected. And it was what you called one time a pendulum.
Yeah.
I don't even, you have to.
Yeah.
And it was June, I think it was like June 17th or 18th. I think Thursday was the 17th. And you said, Dale Calvert, has been doing this for 40 some years, said that you got nervous on the phone. And that was my switch. And hopefully tonight, something I say for other people out there, no matter what business they're in, maybe something I say will switch them, turn that light switch, that light bulb on, as powerful as it did me. And it's because I did all of the programming to get me where I was at that moment when you said that you were nervous picking up the phone. And I'm thinking, I can do this.
Yeah.
I can do this so easy.
Yeah.
And then actually, Dale, it's been 47 days since that day you told me or told us that to today. I've enrolled 78 boxes, but most important, I believe it's 29 businesses that I'm changing their lives.
That's right.
I'm changing them.
You're providing major value for people at zero cost. And again, we've talked about it from the beginning. You just got to go in with a value focused mentality and understand we've got something of extreme value that we're providing for these businesses. I know people have a lot of questions for you, so we're going to take a break here in just a second. But is there anything else you would like for people to know before we kind of start wrapping this part of it up? Anything at all?
This is the greatest opportunity that you can change people's lives in a drastic way.
Yeah.
The value that we have, like Dale had stated, to help the businesses, to build ourselves and to leave a legacy that I never thought I would ever be able to do. It is within my reach.
Yeah.
And go in, and it doesn't matter where you're at and what you're doing, as long as you speak to these people with passion and conviction and be real to them. No, because this isn't hype at all.
That's right.
And it's like people always say, Dale and Jim Rohn, work harder on yourself. I finally got that. It took me 5 years to understand that, but I got it. And and I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to, but I'm madder than a wet hen, and it works because I gave my whole life to them for 9 years. And they had in their hand a gentleman that learned straight from you, Dale, and he didn't take it with them. And all them really good people that were ruined with network marketing because he didn't take it. And you know what? I'm going to do my darndest to show him that with your system, he could have had a much better business. And someday I'm going to mail a copy of my check to him. And it's going to be in less than a year. I'm going to show him with Dale's systems and with programming your mind, you can make $100,000 a month. And shame on you for not doing that for all them other people.
Yeah, that's the whole industry, though.
Sorry.
It's the whole industry. It's not just one particular company. It's like it's a social club. It's a rah-rah. Let's all get fired up and excited, but there's no substance. And we all, I've been talking about that on the podcast for years. Thanks for being with us, Kamala. If somebody wants to contact you directly and learn more about the Ihub Meta program, what's the best way for them to do that?
I would love to have a conversation with them, and it's at 989-578-7850 is my cell phone. Or you can reach me on Facebook. It's Kamala A. Robinson. Or even my email is kamalarobinson.ihub@gmail.com.
Cool, cool, cool. Okay, we're going to take a break, and I'll get my screen person, Dawn, if you can come back in here and help me up. We're going to take a break now, stop the recording.